Montevideo. In today's video, we continue our tour of Uruguay's capital city. In this episode, we'll try a proper chivito served two different ways. We'll tour the interior of the iconic Palacio Salvo. We'll stroll along the longest sidewalk in the world. We'll enjoy a bit of greenery at Parque Rodol. And we'll also stop for that iconic postcard photo at the Montevideo sign. So we invite you to join us as we continue getting to know Montevideo just a little better. So since our rental apartment overlooked Plaza Independencia or Independence Square, we decided to start our visit there. First up, the Artigas Mausoleum. Well, we just learned something new. Underneath Plaza de Independencia, you have the mausoleum to Artigas, who was the man who liberated Uruguay from the United Provinces of the River Plate.
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah, it's it's a little bit of a long story, but basically he's the big liberator of Uruguay, you know.
Yeah.
And right under the monument, there is the mausoleum.
Yeah.
So you're gonna find the stairs to come down on both sides of the monument.
Yep.
You come down and you go inside, and you have the place where his remains are, his ashes.
Yeah, there's like an urn in the center, and it's guarded by soldiers.
Yeah, it's guarded by a guard of honor. That I think they change it every hour. It's only two, but every hour they have a fresh guards.
We actually saw that change.
Yeah.
It's dimly lit, and we should also mention it's free as well.
It's free, yeah.
The other interesting thing about this Independence Plaza here is it's basically it's what separates the historic Old Town from the kind of the downtown core. Yeah. So you have that walking pedestrian street that we went yesterday.
It's like the boundary between Ciudad Vieja and Centro.
Yeah. The old and the new.
The old and the new.
Yeah.
So this right here is Palacio Salvo, an iconic landmark in Montevideo's Old Town. This was the tallest building in all of South America up until the year 1935. If you think Palacio Salvo looks familiar, that's because you can find its twin, Palacio Barolo, across the pond in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Both were designed by the Italian architect Mario Palanti. Originally, the idea for this particular structure was to build a hotel. However, in the end, only one floor ever functioned as that, and all the other floors were turned into apartments and office spaces. During our tour, we also visited the viewing deck on the 25th floor, where you get a bird's eye view of Montevideo. Then it was time for lunch. We went to Bar Spanico because we had heard this place serves a great chivito.
All right, so we got back from visiting that very impressive building. What did you guys think? The Palace
Salvo.
Yeah.
We ended up joining a guided tour. It was an hour long.
Yeah.
We paid 250 Uruguayan pesos per person, roughly $7 or $8 right now.
Yeah.
And it was super interesting because we were able to go up to the observation tower, see the whole city. We also visited different floors within the building. It was actually built and designed to be a hotel, but that business didn't go so well for various reasons. So then they just joined some of the hotel rooms and turned it into apartments and basically sold it off. So today over 1,000 people live inside this building. They also have offices, and we kind of got to see the layout.
Yeah, it's a nice visit.
Yeah.
The views from up there are amazing. You see the port, you see the river, you see the city. And the building itself needs a lot of restoration.
Yeah.
It's been left a little bit in a decaying state. And they're all apartments now, small apartments. I think the biggest one is about 600 square feet, probably like 60 square meters. So it's something to do if you're in the city and you want to do something different. that's a nice option. No?
Yes, for sure. I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
To climb up there and to take a look, and you hear a little bit about the history. And I was surprised that that building was constructed in 5 years.
Very quickly for the size of it.
Very
What, it
fast.
was built in the 1920s?
1920, you know, 5 years.
23 to 28.
It's going to be 100 years old soon.
Yeah.
And there's a building that's almost like a replica of it, just 10 meters shorter in Buenos Aires. It's called Palacio Barolo.
Exactly.
So if you're going there, visit both buildings. The one in Montevideo, one in Buenos Aires.
It was designed by the same architect.
Yeah.
And the reason we're sitting down,
We're having lunch. We're going to be trying CHIVITO 2 ways, Canadian style
gracias.
Gracias.
and on the dish, al plato y canadiense. We'll show it to you when it arrives.
Yeah.
So the 2 chivitos have arrived at the table. We have the Canadian one on the dish, on the plate, it's called.
Yeah.
It's a heaping mountain of everything you can possibly imagine, but it's called Canadian because it's got bacon on top. Bacon apparently is very Canadian. And then we got this one, sandwich style. The only difference is minus the bacon. So we're gonna split everything.
It's got the bread.
got the bread.
It's got the bread, yeah. So let's just dig in. We've got to find a way to do this. My dad's going for the sandwich version of the dish. I'm having this mountain of food.
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned the ingredients, but just what I'm seeing at first sight. You've got the beef, of course, the steak, which is the main ingredient. Then there's just layers of ham and cheese and fried egg and olives and Macedonian salad, the potato salad, lettuce, tomato, beetroot, carrots, olives,
It's all there.
everything. Just, ooh.
Really, really tasty. Very good. It's got a lot of mayo, and the mozzarella cheese is all melted. I mean,
Yeah, you've got to try it if you come to Uruguay.
you bring your appetite for this meal.
Or come with a group of friends to
and
share.
friends to help you out, because this is not a meager dish. Let me say. I don't feel like the camera even does this dish justice. Like, if it makes it look smaller on the screen than it is in person. It's a mammoth portion.
We've got our work cut out.
We've got our work cut out with 3 people to eat the 2 of these, so. But it's fantastic, and we should mention it's the national dish of Uruguay.
Yeah.
So if you come to Uruguay, you absolutely have to try the CHIVITO. Hey guys.
Hello.
Today is another day. We forgot to wrap up yesterday's video.
Forgot to finish the video.
Yeah, we came back after lunch, took a little rest, did some work, and then we met up with a good friend who lives here.
Yeah, first I have to mention, like, the plan had been to go to the Gaucho Museum, which we mentioned so much, and then we got there and it's closed for renovations at the moment.
Right.
So yeah, we weren't able to do that. We just came back to the apartment, had a siesta as usual.
Glad you remember that. I
CHIVITO.
totally forgot about that experience.
So sad. I was looking forward to that because the museum is located inside an old palace, an old palacio.
Especially having gone to 2 Gaucho events earlier in the year. I mean, I would have loved to have gone and learned more and maybe to see artifacts or whatever was in the museum. But
Another time.
Another time.
Visit. And yeah, then in the evening we went out to a market, Mercado Ferrando, to meet up with a friend, and we had some delicious food there, so that was fun.
We sure did. So overall, it was a really good day.
Yeah.
Action-packed to the point where we forgot to wrap it up. So
Oopsies.
we are doing it this morning. And as a sneak peek, this is our last day in Montevideo.
Yes.
And we're going to be visiting a completely different part of the city.
Yeah, so we're gonna visit the beach, walk along the Rambla.
And we're all dressed up and ready to go, so stay tuned.
On our final morning in Montevideo, we decided to hop in a taxi and visit Bocasitos. This is a beachside neighborhood and it's a beautiful place to enjoy a stroll along the waterfront. The Rambla is the longest continuous sidewalk in the world, stretching 22.2 kilometers in length down the coast of Montevideo. We also stopped to visit the Montevideo city sign, which we were told gets repainted very often, so you never know what colors you're going to get.
Sí, yo le pasé por encima y dijo, yo sé lo que es esto. This guy found a bag with marijuana. I was walking bag, yeah. And I saw it and I just kept on walking, you know, like, I mean, I'm not gonna grab it. And these guys, they found it right in the middle of the walkway and they started jumping up and down and screaming, you know. It was a nice little
the size of a fist,
amount,
I'd say.
a fist size, you know, of Mary Jane. So, yeah. Now we're at the park.
Now we're at the park, yes. We're getting distracted here. We are at Rodol Park.
Yeah.
Very nice place. Lots of like different ponds and lagoons. People walking their dogs.
Lots of dogs. Nice because the weather has warmed up. I had to remove my hoodie because it's really getting too much. And beautiful day to walk. You know, nice breeze again. It's a nice time of the year because you don't have that cold and humid, and you don't have that extreme heat that it doesn't let you do anything, you know, like, I mean, you cannot even walk. Yeah. So now it's a very, very nice type of weather. And
what did you guys think of the beach though? It's nice, huh?
Very
nice. The beach is, it reminds me a lot of Brazil and Copacabana. Not the beach itself, the ocean or the sand, but the buildings along the promenade, you know?
Yeah.
They're all equal height, square with the glass outside. It's the typical construction that you will see in Copacabana or Ipanema, you know, in Brazil. And it right away reminded me with the horseshoe type of distribution, you know, along the beach, and the Malecón, you know, where the people walk and they run, you know, the wide sidewalk by the ocean there.
Also the outdoor gyms where people can work out, you have joggers, bikers.
Yeah. I guess it's a very similar architecture, you know, like a very, very close. I know it's funny because all the buildings, they must have at least maximum 10 to 12 floors and they're all the same level. I think there is only one that is a little bit higher, but the rest is all the same level. They don't go above that height.
And lastly, we ended the day with Korean food, which was such a nice surprise. Well, guys, you would not believe our luck. We found a Korean restaurant in Montevideo. Can you believe it? How lucky are we?
And let it be said, we've been loving Argentine and Uruguayan food. But man, we haven't had Asian food or Korean food in a very long time.
A long time.
So this is a gem.
Having lived in Korea, we crave our spices and like soups and just, we miss the flavors every once in a while. So this is very nice, finding this restaurant just around the apartment. We've ordered mandu, pan-fried dumplings as a starter, and then we've got some bibimbap.
Oh my gosh, guys, so pumped for this bibimbap. Last time I had bibimbap was when I was in Korea earlier in the year. That was like half a year ago.
Not that long for you. Jeez, lucky boy.
It's been like 5-6 months, so that's long enough. This is awesome. So I got the one with meat. So this is a tiny section of meat. I'll show you what we've got. So we have the egg on top. Then we've got meat. We've got different vegetables, carrots, and it's got the gochujang sauce. I'm gonna use all of it. The only thing left to do, guys, is mix it all up. Oh my gosh, I love that sauce. Look at that, guys, just mix it up. The more you mix it, the better it tastes. So it still feels surreal to be having a bibimbap here in an authentic Korean restaurant in Montevideo. Okay, let's try it. Oh yeah. It's the real deal. The real deal. Guys, this is so authentic. That's one of the best parts about this entire meal.
Yeah, people are speaking Korean inside this restaurant.
Yes,
a lot of the customers are Korean.
A lot of patrons. I believe the owners are. And yeah, it's like having authentic Korean food here in South America. I love it.
Enjoy. We are back.
We're back
From dinner.
How
was it?
It was fantastic. Oh my gosh. Authentic. Authentic, delicious Korean food. The banchan was the highlight for me. It was so good. It was basically all the things I was craving aside from what we ordered too. So it was like not only was what we ordered good, but then we had all these nice surprises.
Yeah. And the price is pretty decent. I'd say most mains there are around the $10 mark.
Yeah, and that's normal for Montevideo. You're looking at about $10.
It's a pricey city.
$10 and up for a main. Yeah. It's over double what we paid in Argentina. But yeah, and this marks the end of our time in Uruguay.
It sure
Nice little short trip. It's kind of whetted our appetite to do more in the country. If we were to come back, it would be more like sleepy beach towns, and
I think so.
And there's more off the beaten path destinations. We kind of went to two of the most famous spots.
Yeah.
But if we come back, we'll be doing more off the grid
along the coast.
Yeah. And that wraps up our series from here.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it.
I hope you enjoyed it. Our next episode will be probably from Buenos Aires.
Yeah. So see you there.
See you there.
Bye.